Alright, funny money. How to make funny money. Well, first thing I had to go do is go to Bing and look for money. Picture money. Which is not hard to do. Let's go to images and look for money. I don't know where you're at, but in America, this is the money that people like the most. Let's see, view image, save image as, and on my desktop. Just put that right there. Now let's make it a power of 2. Power of 2, for anybody who don't know, is this number by this number. Any number by that number. It's for DDS format. DDS is much better on your GPU performance than PNGs or JPEGs, because they don't have to be processed through the CPU first. They go straight to the GPU. DDS, so that's why it's much better to use them. I'll have to do a little magic to get this thing probably, maybe that'll crop too. I'm no geometry person, so I can't just look at something and know that's not 2:1. So I'll just have to make the canvas bigger. That's that simple. 4096. Let's see. You know what? I think that'll work. Mucho perfecto. Mucho perfecto. Actually, I need to flatten the image. Image size is going to be, it's not going to be that high. Don't want no 20 megabyte mod for just damn texture. That's crazy, man. You don't need that. Export as, and before I export this, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and just put it on the desktop. I'll just put 100.dds, and this will be BC1 compression type, because it's no transparency and it is no normals map. So we got our power 2. Now we just need to make the money. That'll be in Blender. Now the thing about this money is it's also going to be the Jbeam also. The mesh will be the Jbeam in addition to being the money. Now let's think, well, we just cropped that image 2:1. So if I make this thing 2:1, the size, then it should, I just scale it along the y-axis too. It should hold our image in an aspect ratio. I'll just call this Ben for Benjamin, a texture name for the mod. It's always screwed up. Why Blender does this, no idea, but you think if you want to mess with the UVs, you'd like to see what you're doing. I don't know why it switches back to the, I don't know, I just don't get it. It's frustrating. I have to keep changing that every time. So it's just a matter of the UVs being wrong. I guess I haven't made enough things to know. Whoa, you know what I've done? Damn it. When you scale an object, you're supposed to apply all transforms. That way when you can unwrap the UVs and it'll already match the damn aspect ratio. So I just woke up, man. I'm not thinking. I'm not fully awake yet. Stayed up too late watching that new Batman movie. Pretty good movie. Pretty good. I'd watch another one if they made another one. I think it's the most realistic take on Batman to date. That is kind of squashed. See, that's where I'm not a geometry person, you know. It's like, it would have to be, for this to be correct, this would have to fill this in. I was just trying to get the damn thing to be a power of 2. I'll just manually stretch this a little bit. I mean, it's not like making something to be exactly on the scale and all that. That'll work fine. Now, let's get in an object like this car from the game, and let's get a sense of scale, how big we're going to make this money. So, if I want to make it like the one in the previous video, I need to scale it up about that big, probably. Alright, we don't need the car now. So, now what we have to do is tessellate this thing, or subdivide it. Basically, subdivide. Well, this is how many times it can, where it can bend and flex and whatnot. And as far as interest for people with lesser demanding CPUs, I mean lesser performing CPUs and whatnot, I'll just keep it simple like this. And now I'll triangulate the faces. Now, the only problem with using a plane is planes lay flat. You don't hardly see them on the ground. They'll clip in and out of the ground on a flat ground. But it's okay. What we're going to do now is save our file. I'll just call it money. Blender crashes often. That's for sure. Now, we don't need the light or the camera. I'll just call this bin. Set the origin to the 3D cursor and apply, well, once again, apply all transforms. I'm never sure about that, applying the transforms. I just got in the habit of doing it. After setting the origin, I'm not even sure if that actually has to be done. I just do it. Don't take a second. Anyway. So now we need to export our DAE, but let's get us a blank Jbeam. This is the one I shared with online for y'all if y'all want to use it. I've shared it before. Just extract it. Let's look at what we get in this folder here. We get a blank Jbeam. Alright, so we got the mod info in here. This is where we name our mod. We're going to call it bin. Let me save this. I'll close this other stuff out of here so it's not confusing at all. We'll back out of here. We'll change blank Jbeam to bin. That's what I'm going to call the mod. Vehicles, change this folder to bin. Open this folder. Then you got, we're not going to be using that loo. Just that it can stay in there. It's fine. So empty Jbeam, rename this. I'm going to call this bin also. And we got our main.materials.json. So here's where we're going to put the texture. Remember I said I'm going to call the texture bin also. Now if you copy to your clipboard and paste, then you know you're not going to accidentally misspell a texture. That's a good habit to get into. And what did I call the money? I thought I called it bin.dds. I gotta look, so I forgot. No, I called it 100.dds. Let me go ahead and just call it bin.dds. Then there ain't no confusion. Alrighty, that'll work. So color map bin.dds. Simple. This isn't going to even matter because they all have the same ground type mods. Close. And so this folder, this blank Jbeam folder, we'll back up to where we see bin. We'll copy this because we don't need the folder that is in the folder. It's like a folder in a folder, and that's one too many folders. That was my mistake. So we take this folder, copy it to our clipboard. Let's go into our mods folder. Now I work in the unpacked folder, which is in mods, unpacked. And these are like the unpacked ones, paste. So now I can I can export my actual Jbeam, this will be the Jbeam, and it'll also be the model for the Jbeam. So now I'll export that to that folder, Collida, whatever. This is the default user folder, unpacked, bin, vehicles, bin, and add it to a bookmark. Then you got to keep going and hunting for it, and just scroll it up there to the top like that. I'm gonna call the DAE file bin also, just bin, and let it copy the texture over there to it. Which reminds me, I need to reload it because I renamed it. There. Remember, I just called it bin. So now re-export. All right, bin.dae. Now save the file again. Now export Jbeam. Now where did it send it? Let's see. Should be wherever I saved the. Should have sent it to the desktop. Wherever I saved this file to is where it sent that Jbeam export. There he is. So I'm gonna open up bin. This is our exported Jbeam here. Let me close this and this. Cardboard cutout. Alright. Now, this is the exported Jbeam here. But you can't use it on its own because it doesn't have flex bodies and other things exported with it. The exporter is kind of limited in that sense. So what you have to do is copy this stuff on the one that is finished. That's why I just reuse the other mod folder because it makes it easier. So blank. Oh yeah. Don't make the mistake of working off the desktop and be writing in the wrong folder. That's why I'll just delete the desktop folder after I move it into the mod folder, just to eliminate that accident happening. So in here, mods, unpacked, bin, vehicles, bin, and there's the Jbeam that I said was a blank Jbeam, more or less. So as it says, mod name goes here, bin. Your name goes here. Reference nodes, we'll worry about that later. Flex bodies, mesh. What's the mesh in Blender? The mesh in Blender is bin. So that's what you put. Yeah, put bin. The group A, that's fine. So under node section, we have group A. This is what an example of it looks like. So that's what you know what you're looking for. We will go to the exported Jbeam that we exported. And like I said, this is what you're looking for. So you see in here where it's at. You just copy them all to your clipboard. And you drag and you drop them right there. Now you're going to do the same thing with the beams and the collision triangles. And in the same order, you'll see the beams, which are all these. You'll drag and drop and set them right there where it says beam start here. You'll do the same thing with the triangles. Drag and drop there. Now if we go back up here to the beam section, these are the strengths. Beam deform is, these are set to max, so they won't break, they'll only stretch. And if I put less of a spring, it'll stretch more like a spandex type material. This is how much, I guess, Newton forces have to be applied before a beam will bend. But that can't be too high if the weight is not high enough. So the node weight is at 10. That shouldn't be a problem. Static friction's at 0.5. I'm going to go ahead and make the node material cloth. This is just basically the sound effect it makes when it breaks or bends or whatnot. Self-collision is whether it can collide with the world. Collisions is whether it can collide with your car. So we're going to save this now, and we're going to just take a quick screenshot of this. Now I want to go back into GIMP. I'm going to, actually, this will work here. I'll just use this. This will be fine. I just need to scale it. It needs to be 400 by 200. Export as, and in that mod folder that we're working out of, mods, unpacked, bin, vehicles, bin, overwrite that default JPEG with this new one. This is going to be your preview picture. Alright. Now, let's load the mod and test it. We'll just test it with the small grid. And then I'll show you how to anchor parts of it, if you want to anchor parts of it so that it does not move. But I believe the video of the funny money I showed before was basically like a kind of like a hammock that you sleep in. I think that's how I kind of had it set up. But you can attach these nodes to other things if you want it to be like a cape on something or a blanket flapping in the wind. But we didn't set reference nodes, so the camera's going to act crazy when it spawns. It'll probably just be flipping all around in different places and stuff. There's our money. So we don't see anything, but I do see the Jbeam. So like I said before, it was going to be in the ground, hidden, because it's a flat plane. And the way I did the money before is I basically had these nodes anchored in place so that they are fixed. Fixed means fixed in place. They don't move. But that was what I was kind of simulating. It being kind of held up in a position where it can... If I can grab that node. Come here, you. Come here. All right. I'm amazed at the way the engine like makes things look like cloth, man. It's really amazing physics, I think. So